All right, all right. Well, making sure everything's working. Yeah. All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Infi versus 15 Sway. This game taking place here on, well, Last Refuge. 15 Sway, well, is actually stands for 15 years old, and that may be his age when he started really playing Warcraft 3 and getting better and better. At least that's what the internet tells me, as much as you can trust the internet on things of this nature. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. The 15 Sway spawning as the red human over here on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Infi has spawned as the blue random undead player over here on the bottom left. Infi has really been just impressing me with his random skills on the ladder, being able to execute high level strategies that are a little bit unorthodox and still being able to play them in a way where it throws off the balance of, well, who he's playing against without really affecting himself. I am doing very well, Willie. Thank you for tuning in. I know that I don't stream for very long every day. I'm unable to build up a very large community here on Twitch, but it's nice to know and interact with the community sometimes, or a lot of the time, since otherwise casting hour-long sessions by myself seems like more of a chore. Not being able to hear or see the reactions of the people, being able to or just see how people cast at DreamHack, seeing Nemo, Remo, and Todd cast at DreamHack, and the Dust crew that was out over there just screaming and having so much fun. Hi, what time is it there? Well, it is currently almost 7 o'clock in the morning. This is pretty much the only time I have an hour to myself. Wake up early and, well, just cast one game before all of my fatherly duties come into play. Death Knight picks up a Rod of Necromancy, already making its route out across the map. A Footman gonna go ahead and try and scout on the inside here, but there are enough ghouls to really protect from anything that one Footman might be able to do. Acolyte now just wandering back across here as the Archmage has picked up a Circlet of Nobility. I always want to come by when I catch you streaming. I'm a fan since many years. Thank you. I'm watching from work and would like to say hi myself. Oh, okay. Well, thank you you guys for watching. However you may be watching, it is always a pleasure. Lane, wow. So you're one of the few people that are actually want me to cast later in the day, but that would just be in my morning. Anyways, Death Knight gets a Death Coil off here, taking a lot of damage, now being forced to retreat back. Skeletal Minion taking down Archmage, going to be able to focus down well, this Null Overseer pretty easily, and then perhaps get to level 2. Where is this Null Overseer going? It is going very far, and that Skeletal Minion really isn't worth all of that chasing, all of that investment in time, especially if the Death Knight is able to do something else here. All right, trying to stay away. Archmage spots the Death Knight, going to be wandering back around again, and once they spot each other, well, he knows that there is not going to be some sort of death coil steel coming in at all. Archmage now making its way back down, trying to get some damage onto those skeletal minions. Death Knight looking to retreat back once more as the militia are called over here to the Ogre Magi. Archmage shows up to the party a little bit late. Water Elemental taking a lot of that damage, so it did still do what it needed to do, as we may see an expansion attempt here, as the Archmage is going to pick up Claws of Attack +6. Very strong opening by 15 Sway, knowing, and there's a lot of mind games here, just trying to scout, get into position, being able to set up your expansion. Death Knight is going to be forced to use a Death Coil to finish off this one Null Overseer. One or two more shots. There's the Death Coil, picks it up, and now is in trouble. Down to his 73 hit points. Going to try to escape away, down to 15. Uses a Scroll of Town Portal as the Crypt Fiend is just going to simply walk all the way back home. Death Knight now back at home. What can he really do? Doesn't even have Unholy Aura, and with that, well, he is gonna be in major danger for a very long time. All right, Death Knight now looking to engage here, needs to get to level 2. Unholy Aura will help his overall regeneration quite a bit. As you can see, he's already, well, taking that up a little bit faster now. Coming back off to the north, one Crypt Fiend trying to just cause a lot of disruption here. Acolyte now making its way back and forth, gonna get some damage onto that one peasant. And you can see that peasant down to 108 hit points as the footmen are now coming back over. At least a little bit of punishment and pain there as skeletal minions now making their way off to the north. Death Knight sitting at level 2, back up to 160 hit points. Not really combat ready, but he will try and play this with what he's got, so to speak. All right, Forest Troll High Priest going to get taken down pretty fast here. You can see, however, Inner Fire on 2 of these units nearby, and Inner Fire on these units does cause a little bit of problem. This Crypt Fiend could actually just start attacking. Not quite sure why it isn't doing so. There it goes, as skeletal minions are being dropped back down. All right, Archmage sitting at level 3 has a commanding lead so far, but until that Death Knight falls, well, it's not going to really be, a surefire, a clear-cut lead. And I know I'm kind of contradicting myself right there. So a slight advantage for 15 Sway, but if this Death Knight falls, it would be a clear-cut advantage for him. Crypt Fiend now looking to back up here. Death Knight now wandering around, at least the illusion is, as the Crypt Fiend is going to retreat all the way back to Blight. This is going to give the Death Knight now opportunity to get to level 3 here by himself. Each leveling between 1 and 6 seems to bring significant enhancements to most heroes. Pretty much the odd levels are the biggest advancements. 1 and 2, you get your second ability, and that's incredibly important. Being able to get Unholy Aura, faster movement speed, things of that nature. And then at level 3, grabbing that extra bit of healing or a higher Water Elemental, higher Stormbolt. After that, level 4, an additional point in Unholy Aura doesn't do that much. An additional point in Brilliant Aura, still very effective though. As you can see, the Archmage takes a giant Frost Nova and now going to be forced to retreat back. Water Elemental dropped, may end up turning into free experience, but able to slip away pretty easily there. And we're looking at, I thought I saw is there healing going on? Yeah, so the Crypt Fiend, there was actually a sacrificial dagger, but the Archmage was able to stop some of that healing once more. Meanwhile, though, 15 is now setting up a very easily defended expansion. It is just out here, as you see the Death Knight now wandering around, going to try to dive on in here. Meanwhile, back down here, you can see a lot of damage coming across multiple units. Archmage or Lich is there, going to go ahead and get in some more engagement. There is not enough mana. Are we going to see a Death Coil? Yes, Death Coil on that surrounded Crypt Fiend, as the Crypt Fiend able to back out again. 2 low hit point Crypt Fiends able to back away. Are we going to see another Death Coil? No, we are not. As we see there's that Death Coil trying to save. Now that the Lich is currently out on the field, Lich is getting mana and hit points. Water Elemental going to get taken down. Units are now making their way back out, as the Lich does have some very good range damage here, getting in all of that damage onto that Water Elemental. Water Elemental down to 136 hit points. 1 or 2 or 3 more shots should end up doing it. Let's take a look. Come on, one more shot. Death Knight being able to finish it off, getting that experience. Obsidian Statue in the backfield here, having to be very careful. Arcane Tower, Guard Tower, gonna make it difficult to try and put on pressure, as 15 does have the supply advantage so far. Maybe I should swap the colors. Let's not confuse things now. Anyways, Blight is down onto the field, adding in a little bit of additional healing. Meanwhile, Footmen are trying to come in from the back to engage. There's a Death Coil, as 1 Obsidian Statue providing not only hit points to the units, but mana to the heroes. Death Knight now chasing back onto the other side here. Lich going to try and engage, or is this going to be enough? Footmen are now coming in from the other side, and we could end up seeing a surround and a beautiful just clock in here, except the Footmen may get taken down. There's a nice Frost Nova, as we finally see Defend finally thrown up, so those Crypt Fiends are not going to be able to focus down those Footmen that easily. All right, more damage coming through on multiple sides. More Obsidian Statues joining in on the fight. Just 1 or 2 more shots onto that Water Elemental would take him down, as we're looking at a big battle off over here. Burrow, Crypt Fiend still trying to battle it out here. This 1 Obsidian Statue is going to be able to survive. Death Knight unable to save that last Crypt Fiend there, as the Footmen are still pushing in very heavily. Archmage coming in from the side. I'm waiting for a Stormbolt. We could see a Stormbolt onto that Crypt Fiend there. There's the Burrow. It does burrow in time, and there's the Dust of Appearance to reveal it. All right, Burrowed Crypt Fiend trying to come back out, pop out of the ground. However, the Obsidian or the Illusion actually blocked him temporarily, and now the Crypt Fiend is going to end up getting taken down. Footman now with Defend. However, there is still a lot of heroes and the Obsidian statue's magic damage that is causing problems, as the Footmen are still making their way back over. Mountain King out of action right now, retreated all the way back. Archmage going to go ahead and retreat back, and the economic advantage really starting to actually finally catch up, as it is now only a 42 supply compared to 47. Mountain King, Archmage going to try and pick up more units as well. Skeletal minions could get taken down. Yes, there they go, giving more experience as well to the Archmage and Mountain King. Lich does get to level 2. Frost armor is now available on the table. Let's take a look at this Obsidian statue. Needs to get away, down to 106 hit points. And this water elemental will most likely just get taken down. There it goes. All right. This Obsidian statue has a lot of mana in it. Should be trying to heal up as much as possible. Meanwhile, Obsidian statue's mechanical units now getting natural regeneration to heal, as we're looking at the Archmage and Spellbreakers ready to come across on the other side. All right, a bit of a creep jack here. Obsidian statue down to 57 hit points. Archmage could have easily finished it off, but opted to race after and pick up an Orb of Fire. Orb of Fire, as we know, a major buff recently. Death coils and all of the healing effects no longer that effective, as it is on fire. Stormbolt goes down here, but the Crypt Fiend, well, currently safe from all of that action. Too much distance and perhaps a little bit of waste of mana on that Mountain King. But then again, he was nearly at maximum mana anyways. Alright, a quick reprieve in the battle. Both sides opting to do a little bit of creeping here. Death Knight will get to level 4. As we look at, well, I believe the Archmage will stay at 3, and the Mountain King may get to 2 if the Archmage decides to back off. Staff of Sanctuary to save, what unit was it? One low hit point Footman. Hasn't even really transitioned into Knights yet, as we're also going into Flying Bomb Machines, Flying Machines being able to drop bombs. Death Knight now making its rounds off over here. Oh, there's a Knight here. Mountain King didn't pick up that Tome of Intelligence. There's one Knight being left behind, and this cannot be a good sign at all, as 15 Sway leaves behind a Knight and a Tome of Intelligence. If that Knight gets taken down, that could be the beginning of traction for Infi to really take hold of this game, as really 15 has a huge supply lead now. It's 64 compared to 47. Repairs are now underway. There you go. Massive repairs getting inside here. Are we going to get in an engagement? What is going on? Mountain King actually trying to get to level 3 first. Picks up a Sobi Mask, which is going to be incredibly helpful, but at the same time, not at the cost of your expansion. The one thing you have going for you, you are trying to now hold on against, as the Scroll of Town Portal kind of come into play here. Is the Knight still there? Yes, the Knight is still right there. Mountain King has Bloodlust, as we're going to see, well, damage coming across here. And there was some damage coming in. You can see the Flying Machine's getting in some damage. Destroyer trying to escape back. It's going to be able to do that. I believe one Crypt Fiend was down, if not 2. And that Knight still, well, hiding next to the barn. I don't want to know what it's doing there. All right, Flying Machine's going to go ahead and continue to engage. There goes, I believe, another unit again, as the Flying Machine's still backing forth. Footman quickly getting taken down. Paladin going to join in on that fight. And yeah, 15 Sway not keeping track of the mini-map enough, as well. 1 Footman down, 2 Footmen down. There they go. What is going to be, it's going to be 47 supply compared to 65 now, still coming back up, as the units are going to try and fight their way through. Mountain King still has plenty of mana. Are we going to see a Stormbolt come across anywhere? Yes, the Knight finally joining in on the fight. 985, there was a split second. More damage there, keeping that Crypt Fiend alive. More Knights still here. Bloodlust on the Mountain King, and what a nice spell steal for that Spellbreaker. I don't know if that was deliberate or not, but being able to have a bloodlusted heroes on that Mountain King, especially to chase after units, is a very big threat. Finishing off the remainder of these units here. Mountain King still fighting their way through. Are we going to turn back around? Stormbolt could go down. Are we looking at the fire? Yes, we are, as the Flying Machines are still keeping Infi at bay with those destroyers. Battling still raging on. Let's take a look. Potion of Greater Mana on the Archmage could be given to the Mountain King later. Dark Ranger quickly taken out. And we're still looking at more chasing underway here. All right, Stormbolt, is it going to go after that Lich? No, it does not look like it. Mountain King a little bit too far back and not going to be able to close in on that distance, as the Lich has a very important, well, unholy aura to be able to flee freely. Paladin picking up perhaps a Tome of Knowledge. Is he going to go ahead and pick it up? No, he's just going to ignore the book that's just on the ground next to him. Let's see where he goes next. Meanwhile, back across over here, ghouls are trying to dive on in. However, and it's going to be easily taken out by the Spellbreakers and, well, the guard tower there. Death Knight. Lich already here, picking up the powerful item. It is going to be a Hood of Cunning, Agility, and Intelligence. Units now trying to make their way back down. Archmage shows up to the party and is the Mountain King in the front line. No, he is not. Unable to catch up quickly to pick off a fleeing unit. Having that Mountain King in that front line, being able to pick off any fleeing units is, well, a rather good move if you're able to do it without overexposing your Mountain King. As the Mountain King, well, I don't know for how many times, picks up another Bloodlust buff. Alright, Staff of Sanctuaries now being used on flying machines to take them back home. There is just a squadron of flying machines in the air, 6 of them, able to shut down the destroyers before they can really get into mass. Mountain King still wandering around here. The flying machines, well, spotted the undead army as they're making their way. Field Destroyer was obviously weakened at 1.31, not only just 50 hit points, but losing the Dispel ability. They lost the Dispel ability? I thought the Devour magic was still... Really? I've been seeing Devour magic, so I'm not quite sure. Alright, flying machines now going after the Destroyer. Destroyer now pulling their way back as the flying machines are trying to pick down units. Destroyer down to 178 hit points, able to back up again as the Death Knight continuing to chase. Stormbolt onto a Crypt Fiend, takes down a fleeing Crypt Fiend. Knights are now in that front line, and the Knights are just in such a strong spot as the Knights are able to continue to chase. There goes another Crypt Fiend again, and the flying machines wants to go after the Destroyers, and the Destroyers want to go after the Knights. The Knights with their very fast movement speed, able to get in a lot of damage there. Silence across all of the heroes now, as it finally, well, should be shaken off here in just a moment. Flying machines are all now stuck down, 53 compared to 70 supply. Lich with a potion of lesser invulnerability still alive. Death Coil saves them as we are still fighting their way through. Knight, it kind of in this little bit of a traffic jam area as the Crypt Fiends are continuing to fight. It looks like we are going for a Scroll of Town portal onto the Lich there. That's what I thought. I thought they could still dispel. Losing their Devour magic would mean undead had no ability to dispel slow or anything like that, but less damage and recovery. All right. Well, considering that Devour magic is also the only dispel ability that is just simply on cooldown and not based on mana, gives it a big advantage as well. All right, Death Coil right there, more fighting getting underway. Knights need to start getting stabbed back home, and this is where you start wondering whether or not it was a good idea to stab back some of those other units. A large number of Abominations are currently out onto the field. Flying machines are showing up to the party, but there's nothing really for them to take down. Abominations are falling. Mountain King sitting at level 4, gonna go after another Abomination here, so it is Knights versus Abominations. However, the Frost Novas are starting to melt or cause major problems. There's a potion of mana being left behind. I don't know who picked it up, as the maybe it was the Mountain King. I can't really tell. Does the Mountain King have a mana? No, I don't think so. Who has the potion of mana? Death Knight now has the potion of mana, as the Paladin probably wishes that he could able to heal up someone else. All right, there goes another Crypt Fiend there. A bash onto that Abomination. Flying machines are still making their way back over, as the units are now making their way back again. However, all of these creeps are still causing problems, as we're looking at 70 compared to 45 supply, but the undead army seems to be just still very strong at this stage. All right, more damage coming across through. Knight could end up getting taken down. Holy Light not going to be enough damage to finish it off, as the Paladin could be in trouble. Paladin may be forced to back up here or get a Staff of Sanctuary. We are looking at more units trying to make their way back, and a Water Elemental could get taken down. Paladin now no longer with Divine Shield, needs to get away, able to back up. There's a slight heal on the Abomination, but it still gets taken down. All right, Archmage is going to be forced to retreat. No Scroll of Town portal. Units need to really retreat here, as you're going to see Frost Nova finishing off some of those low hit point units, and there we go. A bit of reset in the action. All right, Forest Troll High Priest taken down. Lich now out here as well. Death Knight sitting at level 4 on the cusp of level 5. Archmage, Paladin, all of these units need to head back. Staff of Sanctuary, 2 of them. Let's see what was healed. There is a Knight who is currently being blocked by a Spellbreaker, unable to get back out, and now, because he got back up to full hit points, well, is now taking damage from Disease Cloud instead. Ogre Lord Gonna get taken down here, giving the Death Knight level 5. Lich now gonna go perhaps pick up some useful items. Claws of attack plus 12. That Lich, if you are not paying attention to items, is essentially doing a critical strike every single time and adding in negative armor, so it is really even doing more damage than just what its base damage there. All right, Knight's going to be making its way back over 1-2 upgrades. We're going to go ahead and try and go for an engagement. The Knights have Sundering Blades, but there's really not that many Crypt Fiends left, and it looks like Mass Knights is going to make a very big difference once more. Level 3 on the Paladin, just shy, but here is a little bit, almost was for some free experience right there to try and take it down. Knight could have a little bit of problem here. Are we going to go in for a Death Coil? I don't believe so. There we go, level 3 on the Paladin as the Flying Machines find their target. However, a couple of webs could cause problems as the units are still in a massive run back. All right, continuing to fight their way over. Let's take a look at this. A Flying Machine going to get taken down as we're looking at a Stormbolt go down onto a Crypt Fiend once again. All right, Archmage. Oh, there's a follow-up bash. There's a no Frost Nova and no denial either. Of I thought there could have been some sort of denial with Dark Ritual to get some mana back, but it did not end up going down. Flying Machines here, ready to engage. Destroyer trying to back up. This is a mass army of Knights with Sundering Blades chasing after all of these targets here. The Knights are going to be able to get to that target again as a Flying Machine while still preventing any easy burrows. All right, a Crypt Fiend going to try and make its way back out down to dead as a Holy Light touches it and takes it down. More damage coming across here. Mountain King going to try to get off a Stormbolt. No, does not try as 15 Sway is now at 81 supply. All right, currently in high upkeep. That's not what you want to see. If 81 compared to 47 supply, more damage coming across through. Flying Machines going after whatever units they can in the back with those bombs, as you see another Crypt Fiend getting taken out. The hero nuking ability of the starting to really take effect here as the Crypt Fiends and all of these units are getting focused down one at a time. Is 15 thinks his army is large enough to just run into the undead base and attack and take it down. It looks like this might finally be true. A 40 supply advantage of Knights just inside the base putting pressure when the Black Citadel and all of those other towers are attacking back. Haunted Gold Mine is no longer even mining any gold whatsoever, so by doing this a bit of pressure, he can perhaps take down, finish off Acolytes, and deal so much more damage as the Archmage gets to level 5 finally. More damage coming across here as Staff of Sanctuary saving another unit. Spellbreakers still getting in some damage. Perhaps should be trying to go after that Death Knight. Death Knight should be losing a lot of mana. You don't want that Death Knight to just be able to get off infinite Death Coils as he finally uses the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Abomination still back off to the north here. Abomination gets a heal, and well, the Death Knight really keeping track of which units have that Orb of Fire debuff. More damage coming across here. Knight down to 30 hit points. It gets taken down. No Staff of Sanctuary save there as the Death Knight has just been focused down so much. It looks like it's going to get a last dying Death Coil as the Archmage finishes off that Death Knight. Mountain King now sitting at level 5. That Potion of Greater Mana is finally useful, but never uses it as 15 Sway takes a game off from Infi on the ladder. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed that back and forth. A lot of mind games early on in that match, trying to reveal, trying to scout, and trying to steal experience, allowing 15 to set up his expansion. Once his expansion was up and operational, he could just, thank you for the follow, he could just sit back, relax, and enjoy that economic advantage. He stayed in no upkeep for quite a time and then exploded into the high 60s and then started to engage. Nice transition from footmen and then eventual transition into Knights with Flying Machines and casters. The Flying Machines really kept those destroyers at bay while the Knights, picked off some of the Crypt Fiends. And this was an awfully strange spot for Infi to be in. He needed the Crypt Fiends in order to deal with the Flying Machines so that he could have at least some destroyers out on the field, since there was sorceresses with slow. However, the Knights with Sundering Blades, such a natural strong counter to those Crypt Fiends that it just started to feed the experience and didn't become effective. By the time Infi transitioned into an army of almost pure abominations, it didn't really matter at that point, as the Crypt Fiends couldn't stop the flying machines. So it was just a ground versus ground battle at that stage, and whoever has more units generally wins. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.